One match to go through the atrium right there onto a couple of tables. You know how awesome it would be to throw somebody off with that son of a gun? You know, I know you looked at it while you were walking by.
Yeah, I was like, man, geez,
this is a wrestling venue.
Like, man, I didn't even make it to the gym yet today, but like, you know, like I was like, man, this is like a little hike up here. I even got me a little paper towel and everything.
I have my rag for a reason, dude.
Yeah.
It's a mountain to get up there.
Oh my golly. I hate to be down here and be in a real situation. I have to try to make it all the way up there.
When it flooded,
Yeah,
it was flooding down here. It was like 2 feet of water in a minute and a half.
Yeah.
I was trying to get the rowboat out, and I didn't make it, man.
Exactly.
So pro wrestling, man, how's things been? How have you been?
Man, I've been great. You know, I've been great, man. You know, we're coming off the Pro Wrestling Epics coming off the, you know, the Grandale show.
Yeah, and that was a big one.
Big one. Big show. Big show. We had Heath Slater from WWE and TNA fame going against the Monster. The other monster, I guess you could say, Little Monster, and I hope he sees that too, Little Monster, Camaro Jackson.
He will see it, and Camaro won, didn't he?
Yes.
Man,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yes. And just some other really great matches, you know, Battle Royal where Herzog won, you know. Of course, one glaring omission from that show was where was Barackus' invitation.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, if I was in the Battle Royal, I think
Well, if you were in the Battle Royal, I can tell you this. I would have written you a check, and I would have had fun, and I would have sat in the corner and let you work for a little bit and gotten out of the ring.
Exactly. You know, if I would have been there against Heath Slater, you know, I think safe to say, even though, you know, he's a tall guy, but...
What's that mean? I mean, seriously, because you've been around the game for a long time and doing some really cool stuff, and I mean, when you're getting omitted for something like that, that's got to be a little frustrating.
Yeah, it's quite frustrating.
Yeah, I see so. Well, and especially when you see a guy like me out there that's in the ring and you're looking at him going, okay, that's not even an appetizer, and here I am sitting there waiting around and watching it.
Exactly. You know, like... you know, it's just you've been in the business now for about 12, 13 years,
Yeah.
you know, so coming around, you know, being a monster of the Midwest, being with Pro Wrestling Epic now since, I mean, there's footage from me from 2014, 2015. Half of the kids on the roster might have been still in grade school. So, you know, like, or in college or something like that. So, for me not to get a shot at the Pro Wrestling Epic title or the Interstate title and being the longest reigning Pro Wrestling Epic Powerhouse champion, I mean, it does bring some questions to management.
Well,
you know?
honestly, I have a few questions for him, and honestly, you know, we email each other, and a thought for me is, I mean, look who was on the poster for all those years. You know, who was the one that was carrying the weight while everyone was trying to fall in line? I mean, you were the one that was pushing this thing, and I get it, man. Seriously, that's not right.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, management, I'm sure, is listening.
I hope so.
You know, and I'm sure they're seeing Barackus with his 22-inch arm getting in the best shape he's been in a while.
Well, now the press is turning, because you're right. I mean, it's like, seriously, it's like having Mike Tyson in the 90s get told, oh, wait, we're going to sit you out because, you know, little Jumpin' Joe over there wants a few shots in the ring, too. Yeah, I mean, that's insane.
Exactly. It's time, you know. Alton is kind of like my second home for the last couple of years, you know, and I think one of the loudest reactions happened right up the street, you know, at the Mason Hall.
Yeah.
Where I came out.
That was thunderous, dude.
After about 5 months of just kind of sitting back, kind of like if you watch WWE, Roman Reigns, you know, sometimes when you're a champ and you get defeated, you have to go back to the drawing board and you have to kind of figure out how to get back there.
Yeah.
You know, and after... you know, 5 months, I was like, it's time for me to come back. And after coming back, I think that's probably the loudest reaction of my career.
What'd that mean to you, though, man? Because you never know how those things are going to go. I mean,
it's always good. You know, I have one of these characters, or just in general being Barackus, like, I'm blessed to say that I do have a strong fan base. Where they do really, you know, love the character. Yeah, you know, so... you know, I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know, coming out, you don't know what's going to happen, what's the reaction is. But when you hear, you know, the reaction of, you know, 400, 500 people explode when you see you come through the curtain, it's like, wow.
Well, it's got to feel something really cool, man.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, that means they missed you.
Yeah.
That means they missed you, you know.
Well, it meant that you meant something to them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the biggest thing. So with that being said, and just, you know, holding the the Powerhouse Championship, that might be the longest reign in pro wrestling epic history.
Could be, honestly, yeah.
Could be. Like, I don't have the history books here, and I don't have Meltzer here to tell me,
right.
Actually, I mean, I know what I'm capable of,
right?
And I know what I can bring to the company,
yeah.
And that's the time where it's time to step up or step away.
Well, and honestly, too, when you got people that are going nuts over you, every time you're walking out, and you got a company not listening to the fans, that becomes a little bit different too.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not saying, I will say this. Pro Wrestling Epic has given me chances that nobody else has.
Well, I'm sure it has.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, one thing is, the owner / management, has really believed in Barackus. But it's certain levels to believe in and taking it to the next
You're right.
level.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So,
well, getting into that more, man, not to cut you off, but that's a good point, too, because the owner and management of PWE is really good about finding those guys and really elevating them, too.
Yeah,
Man,
absolutely.
you're around a lot of young guys right now. I mean, there is a hotbed going on in St. Louis with talent.
Yes. So that's the thing why, me kind of like personally making sure I have to get in the gym.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm staying in the best shape. I'm not afraid to say that, I'm a 38-year-old man. I mean, when you're dealing with kids that are 20, 21, 22, my statement was very true. A lot of these kids, when I was wrestling 10 years ago, were in grade school,
right.
So now that they're younger, I mean, I know what it was like being that 22-year-old bull, not in wrestling, but in life. And then when you come into wrestling at 25, 26 years old, you look at it and you're like, you're a different guy.
You are.
So be at my age, and I'm not saying I'm a dinosaur, but you have to stay up and you have to be the best. So my goal is actually over the next couple of months is to drop more weight, get in the best shape ever, keep my strength up, and, see that new presentation of Barackus.
Man, I'm excited. And honestly, too, getting into that, man, at PWE, there's a lot of guys that are chomping at the bit, too, it seems like.
Oh, very much so. I mean, we got just alone in the next couple of weeks, several big shows coming up. You know what I mean? So, we're going to be making our return back to Missouri in November. That's the 1-year anniversary of when I dropped the belt. So,
that's right, yeah.
So, I mean, that's something we're looking at. 2 big night-to-night shows. October I think it's the 5th and 6th, if my calendar serves me right, coming up in, Alton itself.
Yeah.
So, there's several big, and let's not forget where probably one of my favorite shows of the year is Brownstown.
Oh, I could see that for sure. You know what I think too? I love the social media reaction after that show. It seems like, man, it just pops off on social media.
Yes, it pops off on social media. But the biggest thing I noticed with Brownstown is just the fans. Those kids, like they're each year they come out in numbers to watch this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So coming up and everything, and I want to make sure I'm putting out on video, and I want to make sure I'm plugging it right and everything. We have some huge shows. So it's October 5th. We have the Franklin Lodge. That's the name. That's the name I was trying to think of.
You've done a really good job in that building, though, man. Because not a lot of people went to events there, and then when you guys came into town, I mean, that is standing room only.
Exactly. And I mean, that's the lethal lockdown right there.
Oh, okay.
Coming up, the bittersweet lockdown, as they like to call it. So that's going to be an interesting match right there. We're going to actually have ECW standout, WWE standout Rhino.
Really?
One of my favorite. Yeah, you can see a lot of Barackus and Rhino. Barackus and Rhino. I said it right the first time.
So there you go. That is one of the posters that's coming up down the pipeline. This is for Bittersweet Lockdown 3.
Yeah.
Which is just in a couple of... Man, it's getting close.
Yeah. We're about 2 weeks out now. So, I'm really looking forward to making an impact on that, or maybe Powerhouse. For the guy that was the Powerhouse champion.
This is kind of meant for you.
That show seems like it would be kind of meant for me. But there is one glaring omission to this. No Barackus on the poster there.
I've noticed that, both trying to start stuff again. I know, but I'm just kind of noticing that for a guy that really dominated that poster for years, it's like, where are you?
Yeah, and there's new talent coming in. I can't be stingy, I mean, you have to advertise everybody, but, when you have a monster like this, I mean, come on now. Like, you gotta, we got to make sure that the fans know that, hey, I'm gonna be there.
Well, honestly, just a business move, man. I mean, when you got a monster like that, you put it on the card, and everyone's coming to see something go down.
Exactly, something's coming down. We have other monsters. Of course,
God,
we got KLD. One of my closest friends in the business, but also, a rival.
Yeah.
Somebody, and then we have a young upcoming monster, Bunch.
Yeah.
I love Bunches bring the energy that everybody, in the area loves. They chant Bunch when he comes out and they start doing all this and stuff,
Is he the one that's in the darn car all the time now with the referee? Or is that someone else I'm seeing?
That might be somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah. And, and of course the current Pro Wrestling Epic champion, Keith Smith Jr.
Yeah.
Now, Keith Smith Jr. is the one who, was one of the few that could say he pinned Barackus' shoulders down. 3 seconds he was better than me. But for 3 months, I dominated him.
Well, exactly. Well, so, and now he's really turning heads too. Now, is that someone you're kind of eyeing up again? Because
I think it's levels to this, and I have bad respect for Keith Smith.
Oh, for sure.
He pinned my shoulders down, fair and square. I didn't want any help in that match.
Right.
I wanted to get the best out of him and get the best out of me. And, and I teach, anybody that there's some days when no matter what happens, you're not going to always win.
Right.
You're going to win some,
life.
you're going to lose some. That's life. That's for any kids out there listening. That's the way it is. But for 3 seconds, he was better than me. Now, with that being said, I never got a rematch for my Pro Wrestling Epic Powerhouse Championship. Now, he currently...
Aren't you guaranteed one in the rules?
You're pretty much, and I think in most wrestling organizations... Now, I don't have the Pro Wrestling Epic...
bylaws,
bylaws right here. But in most wrestling companies, once you get at least one shot, one title match back. Now, that didn't happen. That's fine. We're not going to cry about spilled milk, But he has something now that, looking at it, where that's enticing. Where for me to be the flag bearer of this, to be the guy, I think it's only a matter of time. But I'm also not asking CJ like for me to go and just fight, just be head to
exactly. Yeah.
If you put anybody in front of me, I'll take 6 months. I'll take 7-8 months and get back to the top. I'm fine with that, and we build up to it. I'm okay with that. I don't want you to hand me nothing because then I don't want you to tell me, well, I handed this to you.
Right.
No. I think I deserve it. But if you're telling me that I have to go back and earn it too, I'm perfectly fine with that too.
And honestly, that's something that's kind of rare too, because a lot of people, if they're getting handed it, all right, let's go meet behind here and let's go talk about what we need to do. And we got a moment to stick around?
Yeah.
I got to take one last break here. 10:41, more from Barackus and Pro Wrestling Epic right after this on RiverBender and Roku TV.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
no matter the season. Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome back. Daily show hitting you on a Tuesday. Barackus back in studio. So when is the big one? When's Barnstown?
Brownstown is now, I was going to say November the 8th. It's November the 1st.
Oh.
It's the Brownstown show.
Man, how do you prepare for stuff that's back to back to back like that? Honestly, because I've always been curious when I was, in Dino, man, my matches, I was cheating. I was running around like a son of a bitch. I'll be honest with you. Like, I wasn't putting in work, I mean, but you're really going out there and you're laying people out and you're taking some pretty big hits yourself. How do you kind of bounce back from that all the time?
Oh, man, it's just, you a lot of ice, and that's one of the reasons why you have to make yourself an athlete, man, because you got to be able to bounce back.
Yeah.
You can't just sit back and take a beating night one. Back in the territory days, I mean, they would wrestle 4 or 5 days a week and stuff like that.
Well, and now how do you, whenever you're done with the match, do you go right back into training the next day?
See, I use the old football logic.
Okay.
When I played college football, coaches used to make us come out, we watch film, and we do striders. Striders gets the body loose. So what I'll do is a lot of times the next day at the gym, I'll go to the gym the next morning and just loosen out, like kind of just do something to get the blood flowing.
Get that lactic acid out too.
Get that lactic acid out if I'm doing a back-to-back show, you know. But very rarely does that come up, where they are back-to-back like that, so.
Well, let's get into this, too, for folks that are ready to see, and I'm serious, guys, Pro Wrestling Epic is a great company. I mean, recently now the announcement was made that with the independent wrestling television platform.
Which is big, man. Yeah. Like, that's huge.
So what does that mean for folks? Can they watch it, if they don't make it to, let's say they don't make it down the road, if they have the app and pay for the subscription, they can still watch all the events, correct?
Yes. Man,
that's
one of the coolest things. I did get a chance to wrestle with Glory Pro.
Oh yeah.
So that was one of the coolest things. Is sometimes I think it's live. Sometimes it's a delay. So like you get the chance to get on there instantly and see the show. Whether it's, I think they sometimes air it at a certain time, and then after that, you're able to watch it on demand.
Well, I love that for your fans, too, because I'm sure when they're done, they'd much rather watch it, a really nice produced thing right away like that.
Exactly.
Instead of what they're getting on their cell phone or the jerk that sent it to them from an Android. Now you can't watch the video or the iPhone pixelated, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I hate that
100%.
Stuff. Hate that stuff.
And that's kind of where we are right now, like where, we're making moves in St. Louis where I honestly feel that we're going to be number one. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I get you.
If we're not number one right now, to be honest with you, because I mean, all credit to Lenny Mephisto, for really, I mean, everybody knows he's the brains
a worker,
behind,
man.
He's the brains behind this operation. And to be honest, man, I don't think I've ever met somebody that's more passionate and hardworking when it comes to his baby.
You're right.
I mean, I've seen this grow from where it's a couple of times a year, you know what I mean? To where, now coming up next year, this might be the busiest we've ever been.
Wow. That's actually something.
And that's without letting anything out the bag.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Okay. This is the 60 minutes portion of it. No, but, I mean, honestly, and that's what I think is really cool because, I mean, I don't follow every post or everything, but I see social media all the time, man, with this job. And when I'm seeing all these pictures of full buildings everywhere you go, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in Alton or St. Louis or, Brownstown,
Yeah, some small town in Illinois or at a fair. Like, people
Does that do something to you when you're going out to you're competing in a match and you have that type? It's like an adrenaline rush. It almost.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
When you walk out, man, like you see the fans and they instantly react to you. They're excited to be there. They paid their hard-earned money to come out and watch wrestling, whether it's a Saturday, Friday, Sunday, whatever, so it's really interesting and really fun.
Yeah.
When you come out, man, and see those crowds, no matter where we go, they get excited about it. So
right, man. Well, I keep looking at your shirt. Great shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Now, is that available for purchase?
This is actually old school.
Oh.
So this is an old school one. I'm coming out with some new stuff soon.
And how do we stay tuned to that?
Several mediums you can follow me on. You can follow me on Keith Barackus Johnson on Facebook. Don't be weird.
Please don't be. There's been a lot of weird people out there lately.
Don't be weird. Don't call and ask me for money. We're not on that level. All right. So please don't. All right. Instagram, Barackus, or you can follow me at Keith Johnson or Big Keith 86 on Instagram. Or you can even follow me on Twitter at Barackus86.
Really cool.
Yeah,
and
so
we'll just stay up to date, man. But I mean, honestly, I'm just excited and honestly kind of intrigued to where your path takes you.
Yes.
Because it seems like, and this better than anybody with being in this business as long as you have been, whenever you're going all the time and you're in compete mode and you're in kill mode, you're tunnel vision because it's like we're chasing.
Yeah.
But when you're in this position to kind of step back and see everything, it's got to really prepare you a lot better than you'd expect.
Yes, because when you're on top, everybody wants you. Like
right.
when I'm the pro wrestling epic powerhouse champion. I mean, my head is on a swivel every month. I'm defending the belt.
100%.
Now me sitting back. I mean, there's a couple of titles I'm looking at. But I think at this point, be it 38, I really looking at the legacy aspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of look at it. You get to a point where you want to solidify that legacy where 10 years from now, I want you to remember Barackus. I want this next generation when they talk and say, hey, one of the best big man in St. Louis was Barackus, so I want that. That's the point I'm kind of at right now. So I'm looking back at my career and I'm trying to figure out at this point, well, what do I have left? And I have a lot left. I have a lot left for the take.
Well, and this is what makes it exciting for any wrestling fan in St. Louis or even the PWE, hardcore fans alike, because, this is where things really start to become that, picturesque, because you're right. I mean, you're getting a little bit older, but now you know what you can still do and you know what you want.
Exactly.
It's no different than honestly watching, the career of, like Pools and Yachty coming to an end where this is it. This is where you can really invest and be a part of this and be there.
Because, I mean, unfortunately, we've had this conversation many times. Father Time does no jobs. So, I'm not saying that's 10 years from now,
right.
5 years from now. I don't know, So right now it's kind of like, let's solidify this legacy. Let's solidify Barackus as one of the top guys in St. Louis wrestling. Let's solidify Pro Wrestling Epic as one of the top companies, in St. Louis wrestling. I'm ready, to carry that banner. So.
Man, that's incredible. Well, Barackus, man, thanks for stopping by.
Hey, no
when are those upcoming shows again?
Oh, let's go back over it and let me get out my phone.
We're going to make it official. Sure, we want everything exact.
I want to make sure that everything's
Management's
right.
watching.
So we got October 5th, Saturday at Franklin Lodge. That's right up the street here in Alton. So on Washington Avenue. That's the one with Rhino from WWE, ECW, TNA fame. Then the next night at the same exact building, we're going to have Powerhouse.
Really
there.
Cool.
So, and then, we have some other shows. We have Saturday, November 2nd in St. Louis at Concorder Turners, And then we're going to be in Belfort. Yeah, that's going to be then we're going to be in Belfort, Missouri on November 9th. Brownstown is November the 1st, in Brownstown. So when I say it's picking up,
man.
We're clicking on all cylinders here. So
have fun catching your breath, dude.
Yeah. So I had to make sure management was like, you didn't miss anything, but I wanted to make sure. Hey, we have a great roster.
Yeah, you do, man.
From top to bottom, we have young guys chomping at the bits. We have a great main event roster. We have guys that have been around like me, KLD, Ben Truss, a lot of guys coming in and out. I know. Just this Evan Money's coming back, so like we have a lot of guys that, and don't forget Dart's last match is coming up here too.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. So like we got his last match coming up here, so that's gonna be on the I think it's the 5th, his last match. So like we it's a lot of different things coming up, guys, but I think that the whole St. Louis wrestling scene needs to pay attention to Pro Wrestling Epic.
And get ready for Barackus to hold that damn title belt up at some point in time.
It's either going to be the interstate title or the world.
Or both.
Or both at the same time. I mean, Ultimate Warrior was one of my favorites, so I would love that pose. So.
Absolutely, man. Well, thanks for stopping by.
No problem, brother.
Stay up to date on social media. We'll link everything in an article on RiverBender.com. You stay there. I'll stay here. We'll come back after a quick break as we wrap up the Tuesday morning that was.